for being here, because I really mean it, and then get Lee up here. So that's all I really have. Now we do this whole like preamble thing. I'm done. Okay, yeah, then I can go home. What course questions do you have? UTV doesn't go up the top of outer limits. You have to go to remote pit 2 because you're coming out of the fork and then going directly to pit 2 before you go on to the sandhill. You cannot take the outer limits out. Yeah, you take outer limits to fork, halfway through outer limits, come out fork and go all the way to the pits. You do not have the option of skipping the pit. You mean you can not drive through it, but you can't skip going to it. Jacob? UTVs are not doing legit. You're doing Z-Walk.
Okay, I would say that because the printed maps at the merch trailer show that we do.
I understand. When we printed those maps, I wanted you to do. I just don't think it's viable. We are not running legit in the UTV or EMC class. We announced that at the beginning of the week, but evidently the printed map, the laminated printal map shows it differently. If I'm back here, is that better, or is that still echoing? Well, here we go. We're doing great things. Brad, 1 second, Brad. I don't think we've ever started them solo. I will have a gap. Sure, I'll give you a gap. We'll do 5 minutes. That'll at least get the front stretch cleared. Or, no, the front stretch is that way. It won't be that bad, yeah? Give you some gap. Okay? Sir?
Thor's hammer's at the end of Blue Dot, right?
Thor's hammer's before Blue Dot. Thor's hammer is the climb at the bottom, and technically it's stopped. Sandhill, we apply a little trail marker called Thor's Hammer. It says Thor's Hammer on it. I want you to stay in the bottom all the way through traditional Thor's Hammer. Don't get up and start running up in the hills. But as soon as you get past and the trail goes vertical and there's sand hills on the side, you work completely free game to get out of there any way you want to. Yes, sand hill going up on the right. You can hit that sand hill, yeah. Legit is at the top of Fissure Mountain, and you're running 4,400, so it's your lap 3. It's on top of Fissure Mountain after the third canyon sledge. Exactly, yeah. 100 yards past the King's Graveyard turnoff. Or it's not King's Graveyard, it's Dead Blow. Yep. To be in the bottom of legit to the rocks. It's not even trying to make it harder for you. I think you'd probably get more trouble up on the hill, but it's a really pretty valley, and making 10 burned in roads just for the sake of doing it is kind of silly. Let's leave it looking nice. Sir. I'm going to let Liam handle all the pit questions. Okay, that way you're getting one clear and consistent answer, because he'll be the one enforcing it too. Go ahead. After Chocolate Thunder, you're coming down Chocolate Thunder now, and then you go up Idle Issues, and you may use the bypass that you all used in qualifying coming into Idle Issues. You may use it and go around and come back into her problems down. You also may go out the top if you choose to.
Okay. Go ahead, boss. No, you go back into her problems. As soon as you step out of idle issues, you turn left and go right back into the top of her problems. That'll all be fenced off and clear. Go ahead. It's 50 feet off the center of the VCP. The VCPs are there just to give us a systematic awareness of did you go there or not. Even if you missed the VCP, we're going to check and see what you did, and if what you did was real, then it's more of an indicator than a automatic penalty. Does that make sense? It's a geocache, yep. As soon as you enter inside of that 50-foot cylinder or 100-foot cylinder, because it's 50 on each side, it sends a ping out. Go ahead.
Are there anywhere VCPs that, like, they're really easy to miss?
No. None of the VCPs are meant to be a gotcha, like, well, I got you here, but I meant you to be 10 feet there, so you're screwed. They're all just meant to me, I got you in this tent. If I got you through here to go to the short course, this would be my VCP, as opposed to going around the short course and coming in that way. Does that make sense? There is no, okay, the question was, is there any tricky VCPs? Is there anything that's meant to be a gotcha? There is none, zero. There's not anything out there that I'm trying to trip you up on. The VCPs are nothing but an indicator that you went to a certain place on the course. There's 170 cars on the course. You can't check every single individual track, but if I look at a VCP list and you've hit 60 of 61 VCPs, I just have to go to that 61st VCP and see what happened to you there. And usually what happened is you missed the turn wide, or you got a flat tire, or something like that, or it just didn't work. Sometimes it just doesn't work. But it's an indicator, it's not and all the VCPs that were on the course are meant to be in the middle of the race course. It's not like I'm trying to go down the course and I put a VCP 20 feet off to the right just to try to screw you up. That's not what we're doing. Go ahead. Tom. It's 150 feet. Same as it's always been. How far off the race course? Who's asking the question? Who's that guy? Who? Come on up here. Come on up here. I got your seat, Vaughn. Come on up with me, bud. Come on up. Okay, I'll start repeating the question, but I'd still like to spend time with Vaughn. Not tonight. I'll save you. I'll get you on the podium. How about that, Vaughn? All right. So the question was, backing up, how far off the race course? It's 150 feet off the race course you're allowed to go. Bailey. Her problems is all laps. All laps. Yes. All laps, all classes, bypass to the top of idle issues, though. You come down Chocolate Thunder, go up idle issues, and you can go out the bypass that you came in on during qualifying, but then you have to go right back into her problems again. Go ahead, next.
UTV qualified.
Yes.
Are we running as we qualified overall, or are you going by class?
The only, it's all by time. The only thing, and stock sportsman, I believe, is the only thing we're pulling out. There is no, if you qualified near the top in a stock car, go for it. Go ahead. Oh, it's got recovery, yes. Yeah, we've got static spots and we have recovery, and we have a big winch, and should be one of the faster ones we have. There's an A274 at the top of that long sand hill climb. The intent for those recovery guys is to get you loaded up, pull you up the fastest. I mean, they're not there to serve you, right? Right? They're there to help you. They're going to help you there the best they can, but you need to help yourself as well. And also beware, if like you might roll up and 20 guys have been winching and you think you can drive it, just be smart about what's going on. If everyone else is standing around and you think you're going to hill shot it between 12 people and 6 cars and 4 rocks right to the winch line, you're not. It's not going to happen. On that note, do not touch cars that are moving. If you're recovering your car, if you're trying to get your car unstuck, if you're trying to do all those things, hanging on the car, standing on the car, pushing the car, all bad stuff. You're going to get smushed. A few years ago, we had a rash of UTVs where it seemed like everybody wanted to be an outrigger. They would stand on the outside of the car and try to keep it level. Do not do that. Just don't. It's not safe. It's not the right way to do it. Go ahead, Anthony. I can't explain push to pass. I think it's voodoo. Push to pass. We have push to pass, Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to go through the whole thing when it's my turn.
Dave Clay will go through push to pass and the trackers. Does everybody understand no chase? Does not understand no chase? That's good. For all this time, that's still holding true. Go ahead. Bottom of Spooner's lap 3. It's the only lap 3 VCP. Like specific on this lap, you have to go down this spot of this course. Same as always on lap 3 for 4,400. I'm sorry, Vaughn, go ahead.
2 questions. You said 150 feet off course. Is that rocks and desert?
It's desert. A desert as a general answer because there's caveats to the rock answer.
Is there an updated map of VCPs for the rocks? Or is it there's what we got from Erica whenever 3 weeks accurate?
It was updated 2 days ago at PCI. But even that was only modest movements of VCPs to get them corrected. Lauren definitely has it. Vaughn definitely has it. Vaughn, get with Vaughn Gittin, Jr. He's
The trail is open in the rocks as long as you hit the VCPs. Because there's a ton of lines out there that are running, as I'm sure you know, and I'm personally confused. There's a couple of people confused. I just want to play by the rules.
I like that. So the only place that I've given you the traditional gray Dave answer, like what the is he talking about? The only place that I haven't dialed you in is the bottom of Thor's hammer. The bottom of Thor's hammer, I put no VCPs in the bottom of it, and the last time I pre-ran it, I realized that if you stepped 70 feet left of Thor's hammer, you could be on a plateau all the way up to the hard rocks. And it's not that I'm trying to keep you in the rocks there, I just don't want to burn up the land for the sake of burning up the land. It's beautiful up there. Stay in the rocks.
If there's not a VCP in the spot and there's a highway on the right, and the rocks are behind it,
Jack North.
you can take that highway?
Not Jack North. No. Jack North is very clear. If there's anybody not clear to stay in the rocks on Jack North, I mean, it's like we're in like our 4th year of motherfucking each other over the VCPs in Jack North. I think we can get past that now, right? Stay in the damn rocks.
There's not a VCP, and there's a highway anywhere but Jack North, that's open.
How about we stop playing the games, Vaughn? Why don't you just ask your question? Where on the course are you confused about, man? Because you're asking me a general question, and these are the way I screwed up. I don't know of any place else on the course. I'm not aware of another wrecking ball. Okay, drive the race course. If you don't know where the race course is at this point, I'm dead serious, get the hell out. If you don't know where the race course is, if anyone in this room doesn't know where the damn race course is at this time, seriously, come up here right now so I can shake your hand and give you your money back. I'm dead serious. Raise your hand right now if you don't know where the freaking race course is at. Okay, Vaughn, come on up, I'll give you your money back then. Right now, come on up. Yeah, but nobody talks more bullshit than you do, Terry, so sit back down. Nobody's as full of shit as you are, so sit back down. Then you know what? Why don't you go to Jason Robinette and ask him your questions, Terry? That's the way you do business. Go do it. Your hair looks great, though. What do you, then ask me a question and I'll give you an answer. You're asking me vague questions. I ask for a specific question and I'll answer a specific question. Okay, and I've given you VCPs, and the one place that I told you was an issue was Thor's Hammer, where I didn't put Thor's VCPs in the bottom. There is VCPs in Jack North. I put them there myself. Everybody knows take the rocks on Jack North. I'm bummed that that you guys decided that you came to the hardest race course in the world and built a sand road next to the rocks. I feel very proud. But the reality of it is I can't go out there and keep up with every bypass you guys make up every day because you find a way every single time. And asking me a general question, I've got about 80 VCPs out there. Hit them. Period. Is there any other questions? Specifically, tell me where you have a question. I'll answer your specific question. But answering a general question so you can try to catch me in some argument after the race, I'm not dealing with. So ask me a specific question if you have a specific question. Lauren.
Legit, can you just so everybody in this room hears it, on lap 3 that you were in the rock, still pinch rock, and then you get out?
Exactly right. And there's the pinch rock in legit. Once you get past that pinch rock, there's probably at this point 78 high lines out, right? Just one. But the place where they're building the 7-Eleven at. Get up to the top of the 7-Eleven and turn left after the pinch rock. Yes, Lauren, you're right. No, I'm not changing the race course for a 19th time. I'm telling you, don't go out of the rocks at the bottom of Thor's Hammer. And the reason I didn't put a VCP there is because if it gets jacked up in there, yes, of course you got to drive around somebody. And it's a big flat valley. All I'm trying to impart on you guys is when there's a really big, beautiful valley and there's one burned-in road down the center of it, you don't need to meet a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh line. Hi, Tom. Going back into Turkey Claw. The hill climb? No. No, because there's no. You can. They wanted to know if there's a bypass to get into the top of Turkey Claw. No, there's no bypass. I don't have a bypass to get to the top of Turkey Claw. There's rocks there. You can winch up it. If you've gotten around the entire race course and can't drive up the hill in the Turkey Claw, then you can winch in there. Or get somebody to help you. Get somebody to pull you up. If it gets backed up there, just like everything else, if something weird happens like that, I will dispatch someone there to recovery and I'll do my best to fix it. And in the interim, you guys get out of the cars and fix it yourself until we're there to help with the cavalry. Good? So I won't know that that person did that systematically because I don't have a VCP missing, right? If you're plugging away in the bottom of Thor's Hammer and some drum drives by you 100 feet to your left just to do it, come and tell me about it or call me on the radio. And then we'll find the data, we'll see it. Yeah, that's what we have red cards for. That's what we have red cards for. The question was, if you're in Thor's Hammer and someone goes by you, what do you do about it? File a red card. I'll see the data. I won't have a systematic ping that says, hey, look at this guy or girl. But your red card is, hey, look at this. That's all it is. Go ahead, Chris. I did not put that VCP in either. I tried to get rid of the VCP so we didn't have this conversation. And here we are still having the conversation. Better solution is to put a VCP down every 12 feet and make you guys stand in line. And we can get there. And then if that makes these conversations stop, it just seems like it would make the race suck. But anything else? Course questions? I'm not trying to shut you down. I just want to make sure I get all the course questions answered. Okay. Rock lap UTVs and EMC. Lap 2, non-sportsman stock, non-sportsman cut. Jack and sledge are on either or. The top of jack is an either or. Any way you can get out of the top of jack, back down to the mailbox. The 4400 race, lap 2 is jack, lap 3 is sledge. Jack any exit, lap 2, sledge, lap 3. Everybody clear on that? 4400, lap 2, lap 3, EMC, UTV, sledge, and jack.
4400, lap 2, you said Jack, go to the top order.
Yep, for anyone ever using jack at any point during the race, they can go out any of the 3 ways, or I looked at a 4th way, straight off the top, back down. It's not fun. I'd like to get you more either ors like that. I think that's the fun part of racing. It's trying to wean us off the VCP or figure out a better way to manage it that we can do it and have it be fair. Go ahead.
Last year I lost 2 positions on the speed zone out on the power line. Is that a risk versus reward on penalty, or is that a red card opportunity to pull those guys back?
I gave you a rule. It's not a risk versus reward. It means don't speed there. It meant that I had to pay a fine to the power company if you went over 50 miles an hour, which is why I gave you a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. So thank you for taking that risk versus reward opportunity. Okay, they got the penalty they deserved. They got 5 times their received benefit. I'm not going to, do you want to debate last year's speeding penalties with me right now? We don't have speeding penalties at all this year. There's no speed zones anywhere on the race course. Well, there's no speed zones anywhere on the red course, so on the race course, so there won't be a speed zone red card situation. There's no speed zones anywhere on the race course. Period. Go ahead. Yep. Open. I just want you to get down through the question was, on the Masters course after pit 2, heading over to Aftershock, how do you get through there? You don't. Just start at the top and get to the bottom. I don't care how you do it. Any way you want to get there. Just don't go around. And there's 100 ways through there. Okay. I'm going to do I'll stick around and make sure there's not any other questions that pop up, but Lee will handle the race op stuff, get you through safely and get lined up, and we have tracking stuff to talk about, and I'm sure some safety stuff, and then we're going to go racing. Congratulations to you all for an excellent week so far. I hope you guys have a great race. Please be safe and get home safe. Tell great stories. Appreciate you.
I figure we'll get through the tracker here because that's pretty important. Can everybody see? No.
I got an assistant coming up. We'll do a nice scan of the board so everybody can get an idea. We're going to start from left to right. So first of all, if you didn't know you need a Racing Tracks tracker, you do. You need to get an order in at racingtracks.com, so when you show up, you can just give us your race number. We're going to key it in, grab a tracker, scan it, assign it to your vehicle, help get it installed. So hopefully you're all on the same page there. So let's go ahead and start on this, left to right. This is your push to pass button. Take it with a grain of salt because obviously some of you will adhere to it, some of you won't. Don't get dumb and just only rely on this. Be smart when you're making a pass anyway. Anyway, if you press it one single time, it's going to pop up in blue and say pass. If you're driving and it pops up in orange and says pass, that means somebody's trying to pass you, okay? If you press your pass button, it'll say okay on your screen and it'll say okay on the screen of the guy that's trying to pass you. That means that you acknowledge that they're there and you're looking for a place to get over actively. The push to pass is really great in the desert, in the rocks. I mean, you guys are doing all the best that you can, so take it with a grain of salt. Does anybody have a question about the push to pass before I move on with that? Yeah. Yeah, well, the pass actually stays on for 1 minute. So if you press that one time, it's going to say pass for 1 minute. I believe that when GPS shows that you've passed, it turns off automatically. But worst case scenario, it'll turn off after a minute. Yeah. Yeah, I just say blue, just because it's typically blue. But yeah, it's blue, green, blue, green. And then the other one is red, orange, but I just typically say it'll be an orange. Yes? No, we got enough for everybody, but on that note, we are doing still where we get trackers back, we charge them, we test, and we put them on other vehicles. If you don't return the tracker the night of your race, if you finish, we'll take it off, right? But if you break down during your race and you go back to your pit and you don't take your tracker off and return it the night that you raced or the day that you raced, you're getting a $100 late fee. I need to get trackers back ASAP. It was a problem last year where I would have all these trackers out in the desert and I could see all of you sons of bitches out there and none of you were bringing it back. And I'm like, I need to get these things on the charger so I can get them ready for the next event. There's really no reason for me to have 700 trackers in my inventory where every race that I do has like 200 vehicles. So I do need to move them around a little bit. So please bring them back after your event. I'm sorry, what? Well, just when you're supposed to come through tech tomorrow, if you're running EMC, so your tech and contingencies tomorrow, the line that they have you going through will take you right by our trailer. You're going to stop and get your tracker installed then. All the UTV guys should have their tracker already. If you don't, come tonight. I'll take care of you tonight. Just don't show up to the race tomorrow morning without being prepared. I've handed out 101, and I believe there's 107 of you registered. So I'm looking for 6 of you to come and get your tracker tonight. It's possible there's 6 no-shows, but if you don't have a tracker, please come get it tonight. Any other questions on push to pass? Right here. Really quick. So we're located over by the Rugged Radio booth. So just at the very far end, straight that way. The distance for the push to pass is 600 feet. Do we have one more? Please come to me. Yeah, when you come to tech and contingency, you're going to be coming right by where the tech tent is and where Rugged Radios is. That's right where we'll be. We'll have a canopy, computers, people working, the whole 9 yards. You really can't miss us, but do look for us, please. Yeah. That problem's been resolved. 100%. Anything else? Okay, so, oh yeah, one more. Either or. We have the media tent. There's a box that says Racing Tracks Returns. I have 2 bins at the front and back of my trailer that says Racing Tracks Returns. Plenty of opportunity to just go and put it in the bucket. We'll get those and scan them all in and know that you've turned it in because it's already associated with your race number as far as turning them back in. We good there? Okay, so moving on. The white triangle is your stop alert. That does not let us know that you're stopped. That just lets other vehicles on course know that you're stopped. If you press that one time, you're going to get a big red triangle showing up. And what that's going to do is let other people that are coming up on you know that you're stopped. If you're in a high-speed desert area where there's a lot of dust and everything, it's crucial. You UTV guys, I've been in UTVs, I race UTVs, belts blow at the most inconvenient time, and then you're dead. You're dead in the water. So stop. Hit that button right away so other vehicles they know that you're there. Now, if you're the other vehicle and you're driving and all of a sudden this pops up with the red triangle, it's then going to turn into an arrow and a countdown. Okay, starting at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's 900 feet, 800 feet, 700 feet. So that's pointing in the direction of the stopped vehicle. If your belt blows and you have the ability of pulling way off the course, that arrow is actually going to turn and point off the course where they're actually stopped, so you can continue straight. Now again, this is a sweet little gadget, but sometimes it makes all of you guys really, really stupid, where if that thing doesn't come up, you're just driving blind. Still be very careful and just drive what you can see, because it's electronics. And anybody here ever have like a radio failure where you can't communicate? Never? Yeah, so electronics, just take it with a grain of salt, please, but it's great. It has saved lives. I get stories after every single race of people being like, yeah, that was really nice. We checked up, and then boom, they were there, and we were able to go around them. So if you're the guy that presses the white triangle and you get the stop, once you start moving again, that's going to turn off automatically. So don't worry about pressing it or anything else like that. Any questions on the stop alerts? Yes?
There's speed on it, so say like you're flipping at like 5 miles an hour and you hit it.
Great question. Stay under 35 miles an hour and it'll stay on. Any other questions? Okay. Oh, I mean,
It's just annoying. You get in the jack and someone's broken his sled, close enough, it's beeping from the broken car sled, and we don't care.
yeah, I mean, if you feel like you're in danger, that somebody's going to come up on you really fast, go ahead and press your button. If you're somewhere where, like, obviously you're there, use your own discretion, because, yeah, I guess it does drive the other drivers nuts, which is probably what you want to do anyway, right? Everybody's a competitor, to each their own. So, yeah, push that button, smash that button. Okay, if you guys end up running at nighttime, that's your button to dim your screen. Okay, I'll tell you a little fun little Easter egg. If you press and hold that for like 6 seconds, it's going to go into an ultra dim mode, because I know that light can be really bright even in the lowest settings just doing the single presses. So press and hold, and then it'll put it into ultra dim. So that's really, it's a lot more comfortable for you. If you have a mechanical issue where you want our assistance, you want me to tell KOH staff to go out and find somebody to come and do recovery, and we'll try to get there when we can. That's your mechanical. If you have a medical issue, press the white cross. If you come up on somebody that's having a medical issue, please press it on your vehicle as well, even if you guys go and keep on going. But if I get 2 medicals in one area, we really, really take that serious. We'll take a regular medical press serious as well. We had a couple of those done in the desert race that was really good that we had that and we knew, but double presses mean a lot to us as well. If you get stuck out in the middle of nowhere and you have no way to communicate, nobody's responding on radio, you can actually press and hold your push to pass button, because you want to pass a message. You can press and hold that for like 8 seconds. It'll pop up and say TXT. It'll emit a Wi-Fi signal. You can connect your phone onto it and you can actually message from it. I'm not going to go through all the instructions because you won't remember, but the gray box that we put down with Velcro, there's instructions on there on what you do after you turn on your Wi-Fi signal to connect your phone for you to be able to text out. There's a big red virtual button that says BITD from when back in the day when we were only BITD. If you press that, that sends a message right to ops. We can send a reply and say, hi, how can we help? And then we can literally be messaging back and forth and understanding the situation that you guys are in. Again, just the instructions are on the gray antenna. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but just remember, you want to pass a message. That's the one that you're going to press and hold for a while. As far as anything else with the tracker, does anybody have any questions? Okay, I think that's it for me then. Thank you very much. Good luck, guys. Be safe.
All right, come on. Hi, everybody. I'm pretty tired, so I'm going to sit down. It was a very long day. I guess we're going to start with, we have a lost dog, a found dog. He's tricolored, he's a little bit blind, and they have him at 120 Laser Nut Lane if anybody is missing a dog. Sweet little dog. So a little blind in one eye. So if you could pass that word around. Congrats to Paul Wolf. That was a badass run. But I don't want to leave the other guys out. Craig Allen, he sits on the pole as well, and Jay Shaw. So congrats to you guys. That was really cool. We kind of went through the tracker stuff pretty much. So obviously everybody's going to get a transponder as well. Please return them. I hear there's a pretty steep non-return fee that goes with it. So in the media tent, there's a box there. It's not that difficult. Any racers that have issues with registration or any number issues, Courtney's sitting right there. Raise your hand, Courtney, at the white table. There you go. No, they can't see you. Got it. There you go. There's Courtney. Any issues? Go see her. Lineup for start and finish, and this is pretty much for everybody. You enter through gate 3. Everybody knows where gate 3 is? Over here-ish. 6:45 is the start for staging. I would suggest you check your staging mat beforehand to see where you are, and it's the same for every day. So 2 off the line every 30 seconds for UTV and EMC. 2 off the line every minute for 4,400. Thursday and Friday races, UTV and EMC. The second lap cutoff, so we're not sending you back out, is 1 p.m. The finish line closes at 6 p.m. That means anybody after 6 p.m. will be a DNF. Hold on, let me get with that one first. So the cutoff time will be. Yeah, it's adjusted. So the last guy gets the same amount of time as the first guy. Welcome. For Saturday, the third lap cutoff is going to be 7 p.m. and the finish line closes at 10 p.m. We'll bump on down to pitting. So please only have the people that you need in your pit area. It gets very congested, and I walk up and down, and I see people that really don't need to be there. So I know it's a great view, but unless you're working on the car, you really don't need to be in there. Yeah. I think everybody kind of understands that. I've been pretty hard on people during the series over this year, and I'm going to continue to be, especially here in the main pit. It's just a lot of people. So please don't take it personal when I ask you to clean up your pit area. I'll try to square away the fueling because it's been a topic quite a few times this weekend. Obviously, you must have a mat to pit. We'll start with that. We'll do the fire extinguisher. You must have correct fire extinguishers. So, thank you, Casey. 20 pounds. Half of it has to be manned. 10 pounds. Thank you, Casey. So, if you're fueling the car, everybody knows that the fueler needs to be in the proper gear. It's in the rule book. Everybody pretty much has that part figured out. If you're going to work on the car while you're fueling, everyone else needs to be in a fire suit, helmet, or head sock. It's not in the rule book written that way. We tried to get a bulletin out beforehand. It just didn't. It's coming, and that's the way it's going to be for here on out. It was an unwritten rule for, I'm kind of new to Ultra 4, but from what I understand the last couple of years, that's the way it's been. So we'll make sure that the rule book reflects that. The goggles, yep, sorry. Once you're done fueling the car, everybody else can work on the car. Everybody kind of get that? Well, the penalty, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1 hour penalty. So it is an issue. And anybody that knows me and has been here this week during the desert stuff saw me walk up and down pit lane 1,000 times, reminding everybody of the rule. Standing there when guys are coming in, making sure they do it the correct way. Pulling people off when I know they're about to touch the car, when they're not, while they're fueling the car. And say, hey, don't give the guy next to you a reason to rat on you. It's as simple as that, all right? If you don't want to get caught, don't do it. It's like everybody, well, the guy next to me did it. I see him. I see the video. I see the pictures, right? You know. I don't believe so. It was a huge issue last year. That's why I'm trying to push this as hard as I can. I pushed it all year. Anybody that saw me in the series knows that.
Hey, Lee, a question on that. So people can be in the vicinity of the car looking at
All right, so me and Casey went around on this as well, right? So the issue is safety, right? We don't want anybody to be hurt. We don't want anybody burned. So just because we say, you know, you can't touch the car while fueling, if you're 2 feet away or standing next to the car, it really kind of defeats the purpose. So a little common sense, you know, you want to look at the car, that's awesome. You're sticking your head in the fender well while they're fueling is kind of stupid, right? So we talked about, and maybe we'll have to do this, you know, maybe there'll be a perimeter around the car that you can't be in. You know, it's a little subjective, but, you know, if it has to come to that, then so be it.
if your crew member changes the tire, which is in full fire gear, can he do that while?
Yes. Yeah. I'd be pretty, yes. Good. He wanted to know if he could change tire while fueling. As long as you're in your proper gear, yes. Is it?
It's got to catch the fuel.
Yeah, it's just to catch the fuel oil. Hey, is that John? Hi, John. Yes. 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 Straight back.
Driver changes during fueling. Can that happen or?
Yeah. Yeah, you could change drivers. Yeah. While fueling. Yeah, anybody who's going to be helping you strap back in has to be in full gear. Shoot. Yeah, head sock and goggles or a helmet. Thank you, Casey. All right, cool. Radio race, our race ops will. You missed your chance. Sorry, man. Now go ahead.
Dave, we kind of asked it earlier, so for like the guys of us on this side of the short course, this corner right here, do we exit like at Gomez Pit, do we drive behind to like Coral Park, or do we come off the short course and come backwards, clockwise? Coral Park is behind there.
So, with the pits, we're going the opposite way from the Desert Challenge, right? You guys all well and truly know that. If you're in the first part of the short course as we come on, you leave the short course, make your pit, rejoin the short course as quickly as possible, as close to where you left, right? Without ever driving backwards. That's a simple rule. We all know no backwards on course. If you're in this area where 4 parts, the first Nitto trailer is, you'll have to drive between the 2 water barriers. So miss this corner to access your pit and then rejoin before the start-finish jump all the way down to the last tractor trailer. We're going to have a gap from the last tractor trailer to the back of Talladega because we don't want you driving around the back of Talladega, because when you rejoin, you're going to skip the area that we've been calling Herp's Turn, where they rolled last year and this year in the trophy trucks. So if you're up in the back area pitting in the standard team area, make Talladega, come back down, make that U-bend, come back out, and then peel off around the back of Talladega, right? So that no one's driving from this area round the back of Talladega, okay? Then you re-enter the course from where you left it, as close to where you left it, okay? So the only people skipping a bit of the course, and it's no shorter, are the ones that have to exit, drive across to the front of the ops area because of the water barrier that might stop you getting to. It's literally just the very first tractor trailer there. Everything else you can make that corner and get to your pits. But there is no driving backwards on course, especially not in the pits. I think that's pretty clear. Are there any questions on that? This gentleman asked, do you have to drive through the start-finish? The start-finish wire runs from the course all the way across the pits. So we will get you on the timing machine as you drive up through the pits if your pit is where the wire is. So there's no issue there. If you're on, as someone asked what the speed limit was, if you exit the race course, it is 25 mile an hour. If you're on the race course, it is a race course. Now, obviously, if you're pulling back on, try and get some visuals, talk to your crew, make sure there's not someone coming through at full speed. Especially if you're in one of these last tractor trailers down near Yokohama, where you might be re-entering the course after that jump. Beware, that is full pace race course. So make sure you've got a spotter helping you re-enter that course. Make sure you enter wide, don't cut right across the jump. Enter wide, stay high on Talladega, stay out of the way of the race traffic.
How far up Hammertown Heights can we hit on that last corner coming in? You go up there all the way?
Yeah, I think there's fence up there, and so as long as it's fenced off from the public, otherwise we'll use the area down here past Talladega, up to Kawasaki, all the way up there to where Kawasaki are doing their test rides.
So we're on EMC. Come down, walk. You did the third time.
I couldn't hear. Could you repeat?
So you come down Z's walk for EMC. You need to pit a third time. You need to pit a third time after Z's walk. And pit and remote 2. You can add a remote 2 on both ends, right?
Correct.
So, like, some things come down Z's walk and have an issue. I'm tired of it. Come back and pit 2.
So how many times can you access pit 2 for EMC?
For EMC.
Yeah, I think it's 3 times. Yeah.
Once after outer limits, once after, once before the bypass of Vigo, and then once after Z-Walk. And then if you're part of the 4400 day cleared out on Sunday, when you exit outer limits on lap 3, you are not allowed to hit the pits at pit 2. So you only have 5 options in the 4400 race.
Are we allowed a full pit vehicle right here,
Right here in the front. So we kind of we let somebody do it the other day right there in the front, and we kind of said okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Can we confirm that there won't be a Ford parade party on the hot pit?
You can 100% guarantee there will not be a Ford parade party on the front stretch here and up through the pit. Yeah, that one caught me off guard. I had no clue. Go ahead, sir.
Between the last semi
So there will be a gap in the pits from the last semi-trailer. There's a gate there, an entry gate. We'll leave a bit more of a gap so that no one is right behind the back of Talladega just right at the beginning. So anyone further than that gate will go round Talladega, back this way, round that next corner that does the U-turn. They'll head out and then they'll exit for their pits. Yes, they come through that gate, either up at Kawasaki there's a gate, or there's a gate at the back of the very last tractor trailer out of Hammertown, I believe.
Hey, just a heads up for racers, this has happened in the past a lot. Don't send your pit crew into that area that he just discussed until your car's coming in. It doesn't do any good to have 100 pit crews on pit 1 and everybody fighting over every square inch of space. So use your tractors, be wise about it, and go into pit 1 when your car's getting close. Because otherwise it's going to be a giant clusterfuck and we're all going to hate each other. Great.
Good.
The last couple of years, remote pit 2, especially for speed cars, they're cutting through remote pit 2 and not doing the whole thing. Is it hard this year to they'll do the whole thing for remote pit 2?
Yeah, remote 2 is optional.
No, but when they come in remote pit 2, they need to do the whole thing for remote pit 2. Right?
Make sure you have to drive all the way through pit 2 before you
The last couple of years, they come in and the whole thing go back around. Is it not that way?
So you go all the way through the pit.
Yeah, you go all.
Come in one, you have to go around the other pile and go back out. Is it not set up that way this year?
If you're 2 lanes, one way, one way, so it's a circle instead of just coming in pit, doing a U-turn, and another car comes, you turn in front of it.
Are you getting that? Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we'll make it obvious. So, remote 1 we really didn't talk about, so it's out on Anderson. You do not have to go through it. You go past it at speed, but it will be an in and out, so you have to come in, do 25 miles an hour, do your pit, and then exit. You'll see the resume speed sign at the end. So yeah, back to radio stuff. Weatherman will be monitoring that for emergencies, the end of the day for recovery, etc. So I have to end this with the BLM note. So Dave has to go through BLM to get a special permit for the. I'll get back to you. I just got to cover this BLMs. So both BLM and KOH have numerous monitors on the race course, making sure that your course is safe. Please respect those people that are out there doing their job so we get to go have a lot of fun. And then everybody in their race packet got a little piece of paper on the turtle, on the tortoise. So please read it and respect the desert. Go ahead.
Put out the frequencies for Weatherman and race ops?
Weatherman is 151625. It's coming. I've been here long enough to get all that like the other guys do, just rip it off the top of their head. I don't have that. Yeah, PCI has it. It's right here.
Ultra 4 Race Ops is 151.700. 151.700.
All right, I hope everybody has a safe weekend. Look forward to it. Thank you for coming.